everyone, welcome to another episode of Stuttering in Silence. My name is Matthew Lepore, and I'm joined with...
Gavin Soden.
Gavin, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about sports today.
What kind of sports?
All sports.
You sure?
I promise you.
All right, guys, well, if you're as excited as I am, and I'm sure Gavin is as well, take a seat, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Gavin, we are live. All right, so a couple cool things kind of going on for all of us. Thank you to everybody who has been following us on our socials, our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything like that. Just kind of listening in, following us, smashing that little icon for notifications. But
yeah, no, we definitely appreciate it. Everybody that's taking the time to go ahead and follow us on all the social media platforms. We hope to upload some content to some stuff on like Twitter, things along those lines. So
we have a TikTok now.
Yeah, we have a TikTok now, so definitely go check us out on TikTok. Links should be in the description of this video. If you're listening on YouTube and if you're on Spotify, you can find all of our links on our Instagram page at stutteringandsilence_pod. We have a link tree there, so everything should be on there for you.
Everything, yep. Or everything from Google Podcasts to everything. So everything's on there. You guys can enjoy that. But I think that's enough. I think they're
pretty much
all bored of having to hear that on anything else. So we're going to just kind of go into it how we usually do. As we were saying earlier, I'm really surprised that Philly blew the Lions out of the water like that, because I was watching some of the game and I was just catching the scores, and it was one of those things where I get worried about the Phillies. Oh my gosh, the Eagles, because as we've said before, and whenever I watch the Eagles, I think about you,
right?
Because you go, we played. To
team. Well, I was really worried about I was watching the game and I was really worried that we were going to do that. Like you're going to see us come out and it's going to be like a 17-14 game.
That's what I was.
And I'm like, dude, we can't even beat the damn Lions.
I know,
but no, it went well. You know what's funny? We won 44-6, and guess how many times we ran the ball? That's right, over 40. So
it only took the entire Eagles fan base so one of the funny things about that, just that aspect of us running the ball 40 times, right?
Yeah.
Is all over Twitter, especially over Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Is people were making videos of like children or their grandmas running and like, look, my grandma ran more than the Eagles. And
well, what's funny about it is Jalen Hurts had more yards than any of our running backs. Now, obviously, we have Boston Scott's our number one running back right now because we lost Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
And we have Boston Scott, Jordan Howard, who we just reactivated from the practice squad,
yes.
and Kenneth Gainwell, the rookie. Everyone pretty much played well. There was some drives where I felt like Jalen Hurts kind of
drive. It's about power. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
Dwayne? Is that...
This guy, sorry, you were saying.
So it was just one of those things where it's like, the running game really was stepped up big.
100%.
But if you're looking at the stats, Jalen Hurts threw the ball 14 times.
Yeah,
and he completed 9 passes. Now, that's kind of mind-blowing that we won 44-6, and our quarterback completed or passed for 103 yards.
And completed not,
And then our backup threw for 2 passes for 11 yards.
For 11 yards, yep.
Like, that's ridiculous. And nobody really stood out, I wouldn't say. Dallas Goedert had a big game, or a decent game, But our offense, the thing that kind of startled me was our offense didn't look that good. Our defense stepped up big, like really big.
Well, they've been stepping up every game. The problem that I think they kind of give the defense a lot of crap for is their like third quarter, whatever it is, they're starting to come back. Our tackling isn't great. Like you and I have talked about our secondary with open field tackling, right, multiple times. But I think the fact that we're running the ball 40 times, he's throwing for 103 yards, and we're putting in our secondary quarterback, right?
Yeah.
We're getting more time on the field with offense. So,
well, the thing about it is in that game, it was just the running game took over. So a lot of the plays were run heavy plays.
Yep.
But the offense, like Jalen Hurts and like the wide receivers, like really didn't do much.
Yeah,
they really didn't. We have our like standout wide receivers. Like Jalen Reagor who had 2 catches for 21 yards. Or no, I'm sorry, I lied to you.
Goddard had
Goddard had 72 yards, and he's our tight end leading the.
Well, I'm glad he didn't even get COVID because I know what it was was week 5 or week 4.
Yeah.
He was on COVID watch.
Yeah.
Because the problem is if he was off, he has to take 5 days, then test negative. If he didn't have it, but if he had it, now it's a 2-week waiting period. He has to wait another 4 days to even see anybody from the NFL program to get a test, and then you have to sit there and wait and figure out if you're negative, and you have to have 1 negative test just to practice.
Well, it was kind of scary because we would have to go to our next backup, but I think what happened with the Eagles was our defense stepped up heavy, so like Darius Slay. He had a quiet game coming into this game.
Yeah.
He had a big day in Carolina with 2 picks, but he was coming into this game a little quiet, and he stepped up big.
Dude, he's been picked crazy.
Yeah.
Recently, he had 2 picks. Was it last week or the week before against?
That was against Carolina. Yeah,
Carolina, yeah.
But what really stepped up was our D-line. Our D-line was penetrating their offense, like their O-line, like it was nothing.
Penetrating, huh? I'm sorry.
Yeah, get your mind out of the gutter, buddy.
Get your mind out of the gutter.
But can we just round of applause for the Eagles for running the ball here?
Let's go. The past games, you ready? It would go 3-3. Or 3 runs.
3
okay,
runs.
then we're gonna pass
75 times.
75 times next game. You know what? Our offensive line is we're gonna change this on our offensive line scheme.
We need to pass more.
But we need to pass exactly. We need to pass more. And it's like if you're telling me if they're running a 3-3 stack or they're crashing into like a your middle linebacker.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Okay.
You now could just run the ball.
Yeah.
Run a dive.
But this is the problem. You want to know the problem?
What's the problem?
Miles Sanders is hurt.
Yeah.
Buddy. So now Nick Sirianni is going to be like, but now this is the thing. Okay, we won. Big game win, right? We were supposed to win this game. Jalen Hurts needs to figure the fuck out. Okay. Now look, it's his first year starting. It's his second year in the NFL. I get that.
Yeah.
I understand it was a tough position to come into, coming behind Wentz and coming into everything. I understand all of that. I understand 4 touchdowns have been taken off the board because of penalties.
Yeah.
I understand.
Dude.
I understand the offensive line is in shambles with injuries. I understand all of that. My thing is that Jalen Hurts, with all of that surrounding him, that is even, instead of it being an excuse for him to fail, it needs to be a reason for him to succeed. So, anyway, like because
that did just happen.
Because you sit there and you say, okay, Jalen, you watch if you watch the tape, he against or against the Lions, or against Carolina, or whatever. Simple slant route, simple out route, simple fade route. He just misses them. Maybe by it's a couple yards, maybe it's a lot more.
Yeah.
And that's things he's going to have to fine tune. And I was watching an Undisputed a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And they were saying Skip. It's with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, right? And they were saying, which I agree with. He has to really work on his anticipation. You can't wait for people to get open in the NFL. You have to throw them open a lot of the time. And I understand, and that's one of the things I think that Jalen Hurts needs to work on, because I feel like he snaps the ball, and if Jalen Reagor or if Devontae Smith or Dallas Goedert aren't wide open, he's just going to roll out of the pocket. And then the problem with that is, from what I can see, I feel like Jalen Reagor doesn't run routes efficiently. So I kind of noticed this a couple weeks ago, and I thought it was a little crazy. Maybe it was just because they were down by so much or whatever it was. But I was watching some of the tape, and if you highlight just Jalen Reagor, he'll run his route for a couple, maybe 5 yards, 10 yards, and then he doesn't explode into any direction. He just runs his route, and then at some point, halfway through, he'll start jogging his route. And it's like, at that point, maybe Jalen Hurts had to roll out of the pocket. Maybe the play was busted, whatever it is. But my thing is, like, you're in the NFL and you're going up against cornerbacks that are, you know what I mean? Like, they're
trying
not
to lock you down.
Yeah, like they're going to follow you. Like, you're not a simple head fake isn't going to fake or fool anybody. So I think Jalen Reagor needs to kind of step it up. He had a great game against or a great catch against the Raiders.
Well, I mean, that also could be like the aspect of him only getting one reception in his last game, because especially if you're not getting open and Jalen has to work in the pocket.
Well, but he's not open,
and our own line is, like you said, is beat up, right? So already Jalen has to work a little harder to kind of roll out of the pocket, kind of stay in the pocket, or if they're crashing on the outside, he'll have to roll out on his blind side, and if he's not running his route, like, okay, let's say he's running like a slant, right? He's coming in, he's about to hit the 4-yard. And he's looking, and he's just jogging because he's like, "Oh, Goddard's gonna get the ball, or Watkins is gonna get the ball."
Yeah,
I'm not gonna get it, but now he could have been open. So I think that kind of comes around to the thing is if he's getting one reception, getting 2 receptions, but you have Goddard and Watkins kind of getting. I mean, do you see where my mind's kind of going with that?
I understand where you're going with it, but my thing is, Jalen Reagor needs to be a pillar on that team. He
100%.
He just needs to be open. He needs to get open, and Jalen Hurts needs to give more time, stay in the pocket. And I understand. Okay, the pocket might be collapsing against like the Raiders. He is very antsy. Very antsy. He kind of reminds me of like a Johnny Manziel in a way. Not for.
I mean, even Vic was running around.
Yeah, but Vic was fast. Jalen Hurts is fast, and Jalen Hurts is mobile, and he is a very good run carrier of the football.
Sure.
But he is not a Mike Vick. Mike Vick would snap the ball, and he would look for either Roddy White or first year Julio, or no, not Julio Jones. What is his name? The tight end.
I don't remember at all.
One of the greatest tight ends of all time. I can't remember his name. Tony Gonzalez. He would look for one of them. If they weren't open, he's just sprinting down the field. And the thing was, by the time Vic decided to run the ball, by the time the defense figured out he's running the ball, he's already 10 yards up the field already, past the line of scrimmage. But the thing with Jalen Hurts is he only decides to run when the play breaks down. So he'll snap the ball, and nobody will be open, so he'll roll out to his right. He'll start rolling out and looking for something to happen, and nothing is getting open or remotely open. So then he'll tuck and run. The problem is you have your linebackers who are covering who are covering their shallow zones, sitting in the middle of the field waiting for you to do something, and they're tracking you as you're running around.
100%,
So then the cornerbacks and the safeties have the wide receivers and everything locked up. The only thing you could possibly do is basically at this point now pitch the ball to your wide receiver or to your running back who is open in the flat that you're now standing almost next to, or or try to fit in a low pass, like a bullet pass to Dallas Goedert's feet, to fit him in there.
And he's athletic enough to be able to make those kind of catches, or even just kind of force that opening.
But that's the thing, you don't want to force passes. You want to throw them, like you want to throw to where only your wide receiver can get the ball. So if you force
the whole thing that Brady went into a couple weeks ago, I know I mentioned it last podcast, but creating that opening, like it's our responsibility to get our wide receivers in an opening of where they can make the catch.
Because if you throw the ball and if you're Jalen Hurts and you're waiting and holding, like your wide receivers have to be dedicated enough to get open, but at the same time, if they are open, you have to hit them.
Yeah.
Because like if you have Jalen Hurts or Devontae Smith, right, wide open on a deep bomb, a 50-yard pass, right, he's wide open, or he's at least 1 to 2 yards in front of the trailing safety and cornerback.
Okay.
Right. So let's say he blows by the cornerback, does a double move, and then the safety, like they have a single high safety, and the safety sprints over to help, but he's still got enough room, running up the sideline to fit the catch the ball.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I'm following.
Jalen Hurts has to make that throw, and in my personal opinion, I don't feel like right now he's capable of consistently making that pass, and so that's why you haven't seen a lot of deep bombs. Now, when Jalen Reagor came out of college, one of the big things with him was he doesn't have a big arm, or like they touted him as not having a huge arm. And so I think because of the O-line is so banged up, a lot of the passing plays are like RPOs, slants, out routes, small little things like to dink and dunk, which do work if you do them effectively.
Agreed. 100%.
That's how Tom Brady's been in the league for the last 8 years. He's just basically throwing the ball 5-10 yards at a time, and
if you look at his 2-minute plays,
mm-hmm.
four minute down, 4 minute down intervals.
Yeah,
and like that's how he's been able to kind of like he's got 2 minutes. That's it. He's gonna do it.
That's it. He's gonna win.
But like
because he knows where to. Because his wide receiver. The thing that I like about Brady, and this is another thing to give testament to New England and excuse me, and even Tampa Bay. I would say more so in New England though. The wide receivers knew where to go to get open. So, as a tight end in the NFL, you hear it all the time when commentators talk about Zach Ertz or Gronk or Goddard or Kittle or whatever. They find space in the zone, right? So they know, okay, this is my route. Where am I going to sit down so I'm open to get a pass, right? So you look at Brady, some of his best drives. It's Edelman running his route, and he's being trailed by a cornerback. Boom, he just sits down in the middle of the field, and boom, Brady hits him because he's watching him. As soon as they understand where they're at. Boom, he throws the ball. He's wide open, or he catches the ball, then he gets tackled. Same thing with Gronk. Able to find these little holes in the defense to where if he keeps running his route, he might be covered.
So good at that kind of stuff, though.
But if he just sits down in his assignment, boom, he runs a post route. Right, he's wide open. He runs a slant. He's wide open. He runs a curl route. He's just sitting down there, wide open. That's why Brady's been so effective. And then that's why, in my personal opinion, Brady is a more consistent winner, or like he has definitely more accolades than like somebody like an Aaron Rodgers, who's more of a gunslinger, and like a Peyton Manning would be, to where they want to make the big plays happen, regardless of where the defense is. So if like Peyton Manning would line up and he goes, okay, Peyton Manning is the greatest reader of defenses of all time. Him and Brady, probably the two greatest of all time. Well, definitely the two greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Manning's understanding of what you were going to do on the field, it was ridiculous.
Isn't that kind of scary to have someone just like across like 5 feet across? He already knows what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Like that in and of itself, because like and I love watching like Peyton Manning play. And if you ever watch his like highlights, right? Mm-hmm. Even before the ball snapped, this man is pointing at every single thing on the defense.
He IDs the mic. He IDs everything.
It is.
And then he'll call an audible, and then the defense will audible with, you know what I mean? Like they'll audible, and then he'll go, all right, cool, killed. Now this is going to work now.
Yeah, he'll get the kill call.
And he would be like, you'll see it all the time. He'll point to a wide receiver, and he'll literally be like, "You're gonna go here," or like you're like, you know, like whatever.
And it doesn't matter what they do,
and it works
because you can also see when it'll make those audibles, and then you'll watch. And then it'll make it'll add that aspect of, hey, they're gonna switch to man, or they're gonna switch to zone, or whatever it is. But it doesn't matter because he already knows where he's throwing the ball. He already knows what's kind of happening. So it is kind of a cool aspect to like really kind of see somebody at that level. And even when you're in high school, you know, having someone like my buddy TJ or whatever it is, we're sitting on the line and he's like, you hear me call out the mic, you hear me call out like the formation in the front. He's like, all right, we're going to switch to this. Right. And it is cool to kind of see like people like Brady or Peyton Manning or Rodgers or whoever kind of just have that like knowledge and just look at someone in their face and be like, I know what you're gonna do. It's not gonna matter.
Right, and like I was saying, like Brady was always really good at saying like, okay, I know what you're gonna do. My wide receivers know what you're gonna do. This is what's gonna work, right?
Yeah.
With Peyton Manning, it was more, and Aaron Rodgers more specifically. It's more so like, this is a play that is pretty sure it's gonna work, but if it doesn't work, I'm gonna make it work. So that's why you see Aaron Rodgers and those Hail Mary passes or those crazy less than 4% chance of being a completion. He's completed, right? Like him rolling out left, throwing on the run, sidearm throw 45 yards down the field for a tiptoe sideline catch from Randall Cobb to beat the Cowboys in the 2016 playoffs.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Like it just like you're not going to see Brady do that because Brady doesn't have to do that because he's like, well, his play's not going to usually break down. Brady always has someone open. He always has some, and if he doesn't, then he doesn't. But that's just the difference of having someone like Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers more times than not is going to miss that pass, or the wide receiver is going to drop that pass more so than Brady's going to miss a wide open throw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I say all that to say, like I was saying about the Eagles, I think Jalen Hurts has to get a lot better. I think he just has to figure it out. He has to figure out what he needs to do. When it comes to early, mid, and late game, because they'll start strong. He'll drive first 15 scripted plays.
Well, look at the Cowboys game.
They drive down the field.
Exactly.
They have a good drive, and then everything after that is just nothing.
Yeah,
he's just like 100%. All of a sudden like, oh, I don't have a scripted play. I'm just gonna throw the ball up, and it's just gonna be whatever. And so looking at the Eagles' schedule, it's kind of scary, but not as scary as it was a few weeks ago. So we go into the next week, and we're talking about we're playing the Chargers. Okay, Chargers, they're a top 5 team in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Okay, they're definitely going to the playoffs.
I'm excited for them.
But that's the thing is we have to play well against them. We can't go into that game like, oh, they're really good. We're just going to lose.
I'm not going to say we're going to lose, but I am excited for the Chargers to kind of see how the year goes out. I would love to see us win.
Well, but this is the thing. If you're the Eagles, you can't say they're the Chargers and we're going to lose. Then we play the Broncos. The Eagles don't beat the goddamn Broncos without Von Miller now. Who do they have?
I really hope we do.
They have Jerry Jeudy back yet?
You just said that, and now you know what's going to happen?
We're gonna lose. We're gonna get stomped. We're gonna lose 75-0.
It's gonna be a Lions game.
Oh, and then we play the Saints. Okay,
yep.
Without Jameis, tough defense. We could win, but this is the thing: we could win these games if we play well. If Jalen Hurts can throw the ball 30 times and complete 70% of his passes with 2 touchdowns, no picks, we run the ball 30 times.
Well, we should be running the ball anyways, because now what I'm afraid of is we run the ball 40 times. We run the ball 40 times, right? And we're sitting there, and then next week, right? We're not gonna run it all. They're gonna be like, all right, it worked this time. It worked this time, and now it's like, you know what? We're just gonna throw the ball the whole time. Jalen, listen, Goddard's over there. Wilkins is over there. Just dimes.
But Jalen doesn't have that talent yet.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm scared of. We're not gonna run it anymore.
So this is how I would say the Eagles. This is 2 ways the Eagles could go. One way I would like them to go, and one way they're probably going to go. The Eagles versus the Chargers. I would like to see us win that game. We're probably going to get blown out.
We're going to win. Against
the Broncos. I'd like to see us do the same exact thing to the Broncos that we just did to the Lions. It's probably going to be a really close game.
I agree.
And it could be I'm going to call it a 50-50 game. Against the Saints, I would love to see us take advantage of them not having their starting quarterback. Take advantage of getting hopefully Miles Sanders back, hopefully some key pieces on the O-line back, and guess what? We're probably going to lose that game. The Giants and the Jets. The Giants and the Jets back-to-back, okay?
Yeah.
Back-to-back weeks. We got the New York Giants and the New York Jets. I guarantee you, Danny Dimes is going to throw for like 400 yards.
You think so?
And 3 touchdowns, and we're going to lose because
he's... Oh, dude, okay.
But wait, it gets better. It gets better.
Yeah.
Then we play the New York Jets. And we are about to get fucking demolished by Mike goddamn White.
We're gonna
Mike White.
Nut.
Mike White. I don't think he's ever played a game in the NFL, and he plays one of the top 5 teams in the NFL, and just goes, 400 yards on your forehead really fast. It's fine. We're just gonna have a shootout. He's not like, look, they didn't play the Lions. They didn't play like the Giants.
No, they didn't.
They didn't play the Washington football team. They're going up against the Bengals and Joe Burrow coming out of LSU. You know what I mean? In his second year, everyone calling him a stud. Everyone's calling the Bengals a contender for the playoffs.
And they beat them 34-31.
And they beat them in late game.
That's crazy.
And it's like, are you kidding me? Then we. So okay, are you ready for this?
Right here.
Wait. Hold on. The Eagles have the potential, okay, to win 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the next 7 games. We have the potential to win the next. That's fucking important. 6 out of the next 7 games, we have the potential to win.
Yes.
The only ones that I think we I wouldn't say should lose, but probably are going to lose are the Saints and the Chargers. Okay, so
we're going to shit on the Jets.
So that would put us at what? We're 3-5, so that would put us at 9-7 going into the last game of the season against the Cowboys.
Yeah. Dude, I'm excited. Cowboys. I'm excited if we end up like facing them again, right? Or having the Cowboys. That should be a good game, especially with the games we stop. Can we be positive?
We're not being the Cowboys.
Listen, yes, we can.
We're not being the Cowboys.
Jalen Hurts.
They have Trayvon Diggs.
Who cares? Listen, hear me out. Hear me out. Let's go to the game.
The Cowboys might.
We're gonna have a quote unquote fight by the tunnel, and you're gonna push me. And I'm going to fall on him. Okay? Okay, and then he's going to break something. And I'm going to be crying. I'm like, no, Jalen Hurts. And then
we got to buy you a Cowboys jersey to wear. So
that's cool. I already have a...
What?
I mean... Did I ever tell you how great your hair looked today? Do not look in that closet, Javen.
Anyway. Yeah, no. Yeah, he's got a Cowboys jersey in there. Get exposed. Oh, it's Romo. Oh, Jesus Christ, it's Romo.
This is not real.
Oh my God, it's Romo.
Imagine if we had a video right now.
Oh my God, it's fucking Romo, dude.
For those of you who don't know, we have our good friend Javen Ruffin in the room.
Oh, you're caught in 4K. Buddy.
No, it's not caught in 4K.
Caught in 4K.
It's not. It's
caught in 4K.
Listen. My next door neighbor didn't.
Yeah, sure. That's what it is. Yeah, throw that in the trash.
It's not.
Step on it. Step on it. Yeah. Spit on it. Yeah. Fuck him up. Yeah. Don't. Yeah. Throw it away. You better not put it on.
You think it still fits?
I'll rip it in half. I'll rip it off you.
Promise. Anyways.
So the Eagles have the potential to win the next 6 out of the 6 out of the next 7 games, or 5 of the next 7 games.
Yeah.
Which is huge for us. I think we're going to be I think we have the potential to actually pull it off if we do what we did against the Lions, because we're playing pretty much same competition. I mean, the Giants are always that borderline team. Like Danny Dimes almost completed that pass. The Giants almost made that field goal, you know? And the Jets, I don't think the Jets are a real team. I think Mike White had a great game against some shitty defense. That's just, it is what it is. The Jets aren't a good football team. The Giants aren't a good football team. The football team isn't a good football team.
What if the Jets, right? What if Mr. White takes it to the house, right?
Yeah.
We're sitting there, end of the season. We're all meeting up. We're eating wings. We're slamming some beers, and then all of a sudden, the Jets versus the Bucks. Hear me out.
Mike White against Tom Brady. Wait, no. That has to happen. They have to win. Mike White has to beat Brady in the Super Bowl.
That's what I'm saying.
And Mike White's going to be the confirmed greatest of all time.
Mike, how crazy would it be for Brady to come off 7 rings, right? He is the GOAT of GOATs when it comes to football.
I'm pretty sure if Mike White somehow pull that off, he moves instantaneously to number 5 all time.
Like, all I'm saying is they should make a bet. If he goes to the Super Bowl and he beats Brady, Brady has to give him his rings.
Dude, Brady would probably do that too. He'd probably be like, "I'll make that bet. I'm not going to fucking lose." And then
loses.
Mike White's like, "Oh no, this is what's going to happen. Ready? This is what's going to happen." So Mike White's going to take the Jets to the Super Bowl, okay? And then coming out of Chicago, it's going to be a huge trade that nobody it already happened. Nobody reported the
Someone gets
trade.
A 2nd round pick.
Nobody reported the trade. It happened during the trade deadline, right? Mike White gets hurt, quote unquote. Gets hurt in the first quarter. Gets sacked, whatever. Gets hurt. So then what do we do? Well, the New York Jets are going to trot onto the field. Nick Foles.
Do not. Oh,
dude. And Nick Foles is going to put on his helmet, and he's going to look at Brady, and he's going to point to him.
He did it
and
once.
He's going to be like,
"Oh,
number
dude."
2. And then somehow, the announcer is going to get shot with an arrow in the knee, and he's going to have to go to the hospital. And then who's going to commentate the rest of the game? Eli Manning.
Stop.
And then,
how fucked up would that be if that actually happened? Like he's like he was roaming around in like Detroit and just got shot in the leg. hey Manning, we need you to facilitate. White's gone.
Yep.
Wait, what? And he walks out on the field and he looks at him and he goes, 2. I swear to God, that happens. That's hands.
And then the referee, and then you're like, why is that referee so goddamn tall? It's Peyton Manning. Tom Brady makes a perfect throw. Illegal throw.
Did you see Shaq dancing in the stands?
His head's just massive. His referee outfit doesn't fit. It's like putting like a little top hat on an eggplant. Like his hat doesn't fit on his head. It's just sitting on top. So it's like putting a regular person's hat on Stonehenge. Oh my God!
You know how nice it would be to have this as like a video, and then like we have his face sitting here with the Stonehenge. That's why we need a producer.
Oh my God! All right.
So anyways,
so getting back to it. Yeah.
Well,
so
the Browns almost beat the Steelers. It was like there's like 5 minutes left.
Dude, the Browns are fucking bad.
Because the Browns, it was like I got coaching football, and I look at my phone, and it's like 3-0 with 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and the Browns are winning, and I'm like, Roethlisberger, and then I watch a highlight video later that day, and it's Ben coming out of the pocket. It's Ben coming out of the pocket, and he's just. Dude, so no, he doesn't fall, but it's like the white lines for him just keep getting taller and taller. So Ben goes out of the pocket, and he has Johnson in his sights, and he comes off, and I guess his right foot was like lead, or it had like cement, and it didn't come up, so he like
just throws.
He goes to throw, but he takes a step back, and it's like whoa. It was just, I remember watching it.
Is that the sound he made?
Is that the video?
The best part about it. Oh God.
For those of you who obviously can't see, Jameis handed Gavin the phone. They're watching something.
What is it? Oh, why did you show me fucking Wentz? Oh God. Wentz. Listen, Carson. Listen. Okay, hold on. We'll get to Carson in a second. So. The Browns are now 4-4. The Browns are slowly becoming a Carolina Panthers situation, okay? Because the problem with it is this. The problem with it is the Browns started off the season amazing. They went toe-to-toe with the, at that point, good-looking Chiefs. And then, now all of a sudden they fucking suck. How do the Steelers have a winning record? How are they 4-3?
I can't breathe.
Dude, oh my God, the Steelers beat the Browns.
Bro, I really thought because the Browns aren't like a bad team. The Browns aren't a bad team. This is going off the rails. How do you have
Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., Nick Chubb, and Jarvis Landry all playing on the same team, and you lose to Big Ben? He should beat him with no arms.
It's just so my little brother Ryan sent me this thing, and I thought it was the funniest thing. He goes, "It's literally a potato Ben. Big Ben is literally
where the fuck is Myles Garrett?"
But it's funny because you look at someone like Ben, right? Who he's younger than Brady, right?
Yeah, but like 5 years.
Yeah. So he's 39, and you see Brady just comes off a Super Bowl win, and people are predicting him to win again. And it just seems for Ben, it's like these white lines.
But wait, Big Ben is an elite quarterback, though.
So, all right, funny story for you guys.
No, we're not. Yes.
It's going off the rails, bro.
Oh my God.
But long story short,
Big Ben's so fucking bad.
You know what's funny?
Keep winning.
because he's
shut the fuck up. Holy shit. Maybe it's because Baker went 20 for 31.
Yeah.
Big Ben went 22 for 34.
Oh, God.
All right. Yeah. No, Big Ben is... Look, these games don't matter, bro. Neither one of these teams are going to the playoffs.
Wait. So you're also telling me at the same time you have the Cowboys with their amazing defense and all this shit, and they almost lost to the Vikings. It was 20-16.
Well, they played with a backup quarterback.
So
Dak was out.
I didn't know that.
They played with Cooper Rush. I mean, they won. They threw a game-winning touchdown.
Yeah, 325 yards.
Yeah, he didn't play.
He was 24 and 40. Yeah,
he didn't play that bad. It was just he's a backup. It's kind of what you expect. Yeah, the rest of the games were kind of the same. I don't know how the Rams.
Stop.
Oh my God, I know why they got Von Miller now, because they let the Texans put up 22 on them.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Fuck that, dude." If they let the Texans put up 22, they're like, any other team can score 100 on us.
Yeah.
The Texans are bad, dude. Anyway, there isn't really no crazy interesting games. The Patriots beat the Chargers. That was a good game. It definitely was. It definitely showed the Patriots are actually, somewhat formidable team.
Yeah.
Because after Brady left, the Patriots with Cam, everyone thought, oh, we have Cam Newton. He's going to come back.
And pulled that whole, I'm going to stop the trade. And then it goes,
all right,
I'm going to go
because he was going to get traded to the Lions.
Yeah. That was the funniest thing.
He fake retired.
You know how funny it was? Because I remember I was sitting in class, right? I'm sitting in class, and it goes, Gronkowski has retired. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What happened? He goes, listen, guys, it's the injuries. It's the lifestyle. I can't have this.
Back.
3 days later, you just see, Gronkowski is back. He's getting picked up by the Bucks.
And then they made that commercial where it's like, I have shitty service, and he's like, I don't think we should come back. I'm going to retire. I don't think we shouldn't retire. We're gonna win. Come back. And he's like, I guess I have to sign with the Bucks now.
And then 6-7 days later, it's Gronk and Brady at the beach, and they're just chilling in chairs.
And they win a fucking Super Bowl. Anyway, okay, all right. So,
I mean, next week's gonna be some good games though too. Like you have the Browns and the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals are gonna beat the Browns, but.
Well, that's the thing. Like I was just saying this to Javen today, or yesterday, whatever it was. The games this year are just like, dude, you can't. Like, I don't understand how you pick any team I
heard the Panthers reasonably really close to win. Up.
That's fresh.
It's a little sore.
A little sore. Anyway, so looking at the rest of these games. Once again, the tried and true Brady can't beat the Saints in the regular season lives on. He lost to the Saints this week. Jameis, what's funny is Jameis Winston actually isn't playing bad this season. But I just feel like nobody expects him to win. Like I just like they're 5-2. Like I just feel like people look down on Jameis for what he did when he was in Tampa. And I mean he did get hurt early in the game. He's out for the season, so the Saints' 5-2 record might very well go to 5-5 in the next couple weeks. Everyone knows.
Yeah.
But they beat Tampa. They beat Tampa Bay. But Tampa Bay also is playing without two of their starting cornerbacks. So I think their defense is only going to get better because they've been kind of exposed in the last couple weeks with their secondary.
Well, just look at this. Just the simple fact that Trevor really he did go 29-16, but then if you look at all his receivers, you have these receptions for 35 yards, a 10, 11, 11, 10, 10, 12, and it's like, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, Alvin Kamara, 3.2 yards average, but that's really not that bad.
Alvin Kamara is going to have to kind of carry the team, I think.
Agreed. Yes.
But they have Trevor Siemian, so I think they could do something. Trevor Siemian isn't an awful quarterback, but it's just one of those things where they have to figure it out. But like I said, the rest of the games kind of went the same. You had teams that should have won, and kind of there wasn't really any toss-up games. I mean, the Broncos beat the football team. The Broncos aren't a good team either. It is what it is. The Broncos just aren't a good team. Especially now that they got rid of Von Miller. I think they're going into full reconstructive mode.
I mean, a lot of these teams are going to have to, too.
But the highlight, before I go to the highlight game, the only other game that I thought was interesting was the Niners game, because week after week, it's getting harder to defend Justin Fields. And I know he had some big highlights where he ran for like a 30-yard touchdown, and so on. But that's just bad. That's just because of pure bad tackling.
It's getting hard to defend him in the group chat. Bro.
So it's just getting hard for people to look at because I wanted him to be good. I wanted to see him
100%.
Be a good quarterback. But in his first year, he's looked really bad. He's shown bright spots, obviously, but there's really nothing to say. Like he's played poorly enough to where you can look at it and you can be justified in saying that if he doesn't turn around by his second year, he's not going to make it in the NFL.
Yeah.
But the highlight game I wanted to talk about was the Chiefs-Giants Sunday night game, or Monday night game. Sorry. Pat Mahomes has to figure it out. Pat Mahomes is playing really bad.
Hey, listen. He's fine.
No.
He's going to do great things.
No.
He's going to enjoy his dinner with his wife.
I don't think he's going to enjoy it.
Please tell me you saw that.
Yeah.
They saw that. Oh, that was rough.
Yeah, they were TikTok dancing in front of him. He's just a stone cold expression on his face, just kill me.
Yeah.
But Pat Mahomes is but this is also the other thing.
Dude, 48 and 29.
Well, 29 and 48, yes.
29 you know what I meant.
They don't run Andy Reid has never been a coach to pound the ball down their throat. But Pat Mahomes, and they've gotten, and I said this before, they've gotten really lucky that they've had such a all-star lineup for their team to be able to take them to NFC Championship game after Super Bowl. But now defenses are figuring them out. You can't just lob the ball 70 yards up to Tyreek every play.
No. To be fair, though, he is getting like 7.5 yards on average.
Yeah, but
it's not like he's not. I understand. What you're saying.
But it's just one of those things where it's like Pat Mahomes, they have to figure it out because half of those receptions are like, he might complete a 15-yard pass to Tyreek every
and then he's
other
getting
quarter,
like 2 yards,
and then he's getting like a 2-yard.
Yeah.
Or he's getting Patrick Mahomes. I think has thrown a pick interception in the last 7 weeks.
Has he?
I think he's thrown one in the last 7.
Yeah, I know. He definitely had one against the Giants.
Yeah, I think it was one.
Jeez, man.
Yeah. He's right now he's sitting at 19 touchdowns to 10 picks, which is the worst stat line he's had so far through week 8 in the NFL season ever.
And it's so funny because I do feel bad for the guy because with everything that's going to be going on, he's been so memeable. Twitter has had a field day with this poor guy. Like he was at dinner, they're doing TikTok dances. Then he's like his wife's like kissing him, and he's just like, "Nah, dude, I just threw I have 10 picks this entire season, and we're on week 7." Yeah.
But I mean, but once again, it just goes to show that the Chiefs are one of those teams that everyone expects. They are on the brink of being really good. But you can't almost lose to the Giants.
No.
As a team that went to the Super Bowl last year, was projected to go back this year. Patrick Mahomes, and I think it all stems around Patrick Mahomes has to kind of calm down. He's looking a little bit frustrated on the field, from what I can tell. So it's just one of those things where he has to kind of relax, make sure, and they have to rework the playbook a little bit on the offensive side because their defense is historically bad. And so the defense is I think it's just a matter of scheme rather than purely personnel.
Yeah.
I just feel like they haven't needed to really work on their defense.
No.
Because their offense was putting up 30 points a game, 40 points a game.
Well, it does help whenever you get the ball and you're scoring.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to work on your defense as much. Cool, you shut them out. They go 5 plays, and they're another 3 and out. Once you get the first down, then you kind of run back on the field. You have 60 yards to go. And you're kind of just running it through, but
that's just one of the things where it's like, I just don't see how if the Chiefs continue on for the next week or two, I don't see how they're going to bounce back. No. They don't have an easy. Well, do they have an easy schedule? I don't think they do. So they really don't. So next week they play the Packers, and then they play the Raiders, the Cowboys, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers, Steelers, Bengals.
Well, the Broncos won't be a bad game for them.
No, but the problem is this. Excuse me. So the Packers are looking white hot. The Raiders are kind of so right now. I think it's going to be a good game, but their Raiders are a beatable team. The Cowboys, once again, a beatable team, but their defense is looking
Eagles
stellar.
are going to beat them. Don't worry.
Well, we don't play them.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. So then they play the Broncos again. Once again, I think so. Although they play the Broncos, I think they're going to beat them. They play the Raiders again. Once again, depending on what happens, I think it's going to be a toss-up game. The Chargers, I feel like is going to be kind of a toss-up game. I am leaning right now where it stands. I'm leaning towards the Chargers. Steelers, I hate to say it, but it's right now a toss-up game simply because I don't know how the Steelers are winning games, and I don't know how the Chiefs are losing games.
Big Ben's a dynasty, dude. He's part of a dynasty. He's gonna get his ring this year.
He can't sprint anymore. He can't run. His 40-yard dash is like 17 seconds.
I really hope do they track that every year?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I
don't think he can. I don't think he can sprint. I don't think his legs work like that anymore. I hate to say it, but like I really don't. I don't think
we're not doing. No,
I don't think he can.
Ben, we love you.
Tyler, we love you. I don't know, dude. No, but I think even they would say the Steelers need to move on from Big Ben if they want to be a contender.
Yeah.
At any point.
Well,
but then the Chiefs go on to play the Bengals. Now the Bengals, I'm kind of nervous because I wanted them to be good this season. Just because the Bengals have been bad for so long.
No.
No. And I think so last year we saw bright spots in Joe Burrow and Joe Mixon and so on, and how they've shown that they can win games.
Yeah, 100%. I would agree.
They didn't win a lot of games last year, but they have the potential to. The things were working. This season they're 5-3, and they're playing well. So. I think that whatever was working for them coming into this season is still working.
They should have beat the Jets, dude.
But that's what I'm saying is you can't like the games.
No, I understand.
I just think that the Bengals are going to be a good team or a decent team. I don't know if they're making the playoffs or not. I don't know. I just feel like these teams are so week by week. You know what I mean? I just feel like when you look at like a Tom Brady or I guess Tom Brady's the only one left. But you look at these teams and it's like, oh, Tom Brady's playing the Jets. He's going to beat them, and he does beat them. But then you look at like the Bengals or like the Rams or like the Titans, and it's like, oh, they're playing this team. Oh, they should win. And then they lose, and it's like, you know what I mean? I understand it's any given Sunday and all that jazz, but I just wish that the top teams in the NFL, aside from even you know what, even including Brady and the Bucks, top teams need to be top teams for a reason, because I understand if the Bucks lose to the Titans or the Bills or whatever, I understand that, but if they're losing to the fucking Jets.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, there's been a lot of big injuries, right? Well, you still have Saquon out. That was rough.
Well, okay.
Well, see, that bothers me a lot.
Well, if you're out for the Giants?
Yeah, for the Giants, because it's one of those things where, well, I mean, you have Derrick Henry out as well. That surprised when you told me that, because I didn't peep that until you said something.
Yeah,
but
he's out for the season, baby.
I know. Well, that's the whole thing with like Saquon, where it's like there's all these big baller players that are on our defense. Cox is still good. He was back after that whole thing. But it's just, you're
almost got traded.
Oh, I know. It's one of the.
Okay, we're not going to get into that.
We're not going to get into this.
But
do you see what I'm saying?
The injuries played a big factor in the past few weeks. Even so much as seeing for the Eagles, Jalen Reagor walked off with an injury. Landon Dickerson had an injury. Not anything serious, but Derrick Henry. The Titans season is in question now. The Saints season is in question because of Jameis tearing his ACL and he's out for the season. A lot of injuries are happening, man, and it's one of those things where you look at it and it's like, so you look at someone like a Saquon. Coming into the NFL, he was touted as being the next Barry Sanders, and he was going to run the league. He was going to dethrone Derrick Henry. He was going to be the number one running back in the NFL, and he showed that he could do that.
Well, his first year was fantastic.
The problem is he can't stay healthy. And now, only 2 years after he came into the NFL, we're now looking at it like, okay, is he good? Is he going to be able to be that, or is he going to be a 5-year? He's going to have a 5-year career, and it's always going to be a what if story.
Well, see, that's the whole thing where it kind of bothers me a little bit, because I remember going to those Penn State games, or like when we would have like Penn State for like the wrestling camps, we'd be there, and like
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Saquon would be there. And it'd be you would see him at, like, way back, wherever it was. And you'd be like, oh, dude, he's eating. And you'd just be, like, ordering your food. You'd be like, whoa. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or you'd watch him, everyone would be tailgating. And they'd be like, all right, let's go see what Saquon's going to do. Yeah. And then when he would score, just the whole, do his whole dance. And it's like, fuck.
Well, you know who was his backup and why they're so good in the NFL? Miles Sanders. He was the number 2 while Saquon was there, and then he played another year after Saquon left. But yeah, dude, I just think that the Giants, excuse me, their organization is bad. It's just from top to bottom, just not good. They have no talent apart from Saquon, who doesn't play. Nope. Daniel Jones is somebody that could be decent, but he just makes too many mistakes.
Sure,
way too many mistakes.
I understand.
And Saquon's always hurt. So for someone like a Saquon Barkley, I really am nervous what his career is going to entail.
I want to see him do good, dude.
I do too. I really
do.
enjoy coming from Penn State. I really wanted to see him play well, but it is what it is at this point. And I feel like if he comes back either this season or next season and gets another serious injury like an MCL, ACL, broken ankle, I really don't know how he's going to bounce back, because not even that he wouldn't come back, but just so much of how good of a running back will he be when he comes back. And then something that kind of surprised me, this Titans lose Derrick Henry. Yeah. Okay, and just to point, I do think Derrick Henry is going to return and be an all-star again. I don't think he's going to come back and be not fast or not explosive or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think he's still going to be Derrick Henry. It's just a matter of getting him back as soon as possible. And then, in terms of the Seahawks, without Russell Wilson, the Seahawks aren't going to be good without Russ. I know that they just beat on the Jaguars 31-7. I understand that Geno Smith had a great game and they played well and they looked good. But are you going to tell me you want Geno Smith starting under center over Russell Wilson in the playoffs? I don't think so.
No.
And then the only thing is the Titans lose Derrick Henry, and they sign Adrian Peterson. So Adrian Peterson is officially back in the NFL, and he's officially on a team, and so he's going to do what he's going to do. I don't think Adrian Peterson is going to play well. I don't know if he's, I don't think he's going to do well. But, he's 36 years old, and he's back in the NFL.
If Big Ben can play, and if Tom Brady can run a dynasty.
Dude, Adrian Peterson, right? He showed signs of being good on the Lions, showed signs of being good on the Washington football team. At that time, they were the Redskins. He showed signs of, being like a good running back, even in his older age. But I think at this point, you kind of are looking at a case of someone that doesn't know when to let go, in my personal opinion. Because you look at somebody like a Tom Brady. Tom Brady hasn't had a season where he's been wishy-washy since he's been at that, old age that you could say, like 35 plus, 38 plus, he's been consistently good. Adrian Peterson hasn't been consistently good in a long time. It is what it is. So I think Adrian Peterson is going to go into the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be touted as he is one of the greatest running backs of all time. I just think that him being signed, you're going to see the Titans run the ball, and you're going to see him not being able to do what he used to do. And everyone's going to kind of look at him like, ugh. And I don't want to see that. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him to fail, and I don't want him to do poorly.
Sure, but it's one of those things where keep that legacy. Okay, yeah. and it's a great kind of point. It's not sports related, but if you look at like Quentin Tarantino, right? He had this whole thing with Joe Rogan where he was like, after this movie, I'm done. Like I'm gonna do one more. Yeah. And Joe's like, well, you're at the peak. You're at the pinnacle, and he goes, I want to leave while I'm on top.
Yeah.
And I can see kind of. Brady, we always talk about Brady, but he's like, I wanna leave when I'm at my peak, so that I'm not like making a movie, and it's like,
it's like
I've done Halloween 30,000 times.
Yeah.
And I decided to do my Quentin Tarantino one, and it's like, shouldn't have done it.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the same thing with even like Big Ben. I know we kind of shit on him a lot, but it's like there's a time to hand the torch off, my friend.
And the thing even about that is Big Ben, I wouldn't say is like you saw it last year, right? Or was it last year in the playoffs? Yeah, when they got beat up by the Browns, right? It was last year. Yeah, it was the last year divisional game. Threw 5 picks. And he didn't look good. He didn't look athletic. They should have cut him then. They should have released him. They should have let him. He should have said, "Release me." He should have been like, "I'm retiring." And I understand, as a competitor, you never want to go out on the bottom. You never want to say that was a shit game. But at the same time, and yeah, they're winning. They're 4-3. But you're telling me the Steelers are going to run through the AFC and they will make the playoffs and then run through the AFC? Is that what's going to happen?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think that's what's going to happen. And for Adrian Peterson, he's going to be signed to the Titans. Is he going to rush for 1,000 yards this year? I doubt it.
Yeah.
Is he going to come back and all of a sudden be the Adrian Peterson of old? No. And touching on the whole going out on top point, I think the reason Adrian Peterson is still in the NFL is because his career went from really high to really low really fast.
Yeah.
He would, had an MVP season, couple MVP candidacies, rushed for a lot. He has, I think he still has the most rushing yards in a season. Just balling out, doing his thing. But then, boom, he gets popped for steroids. So now that's a black mark on his name. Then, he comes back and he's not as explosive. He's not as agile. He's not as good. Gets hurt. Sure. Right? Gets cut from the Vikings. Goes to a couple of different teams. Goes to the Saints. Goes to the Cardinals. Bounces around. And now he's 36 years old. He hasn't had a good season in like 6 years, 5 years, whatever. And I think this is just the Titans said, kind of threw out a lifeline, said, hey.
Are they allowed to do testosterone replacement?
I think so.
Is that a thing?
I think so.
Because I don't know.
Because that's like hormonal. It doesn't.
That's hormonal. Because I know. I know you can do because some people in like.
I think right. That would make sense.
So there is an aspect when you get older, you can take like testosterone replacement and things like that. Because the biggest thing with like those guys at that age is like, yeah, he's still young-ish.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're getting beat on like that all the time,
yeah,
you need to have that test to kind of come through. But I don't know. That's for a different conversation. But
no, that's pretty much what I think. I think it's hard to say who I think is going to win or lose going into the next few weeks. When it comes to games where the teams are really close, just because, and I guess even if teams aren't so close, Yeah. And then. But the Titans, I don't think the Titans are going to be a necessarily bad team without Derrick Henry.
It is just nice to see just a man bulldoze over every single professional. It
just makes things
player.
easier.
Yeah,
it makes things easier for as a team to hand the ball off and know he's going to do well.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. The only other thing I would say is for teams that are kind of like, I would say the Eagles aren't quite a rebuilding team, or they aren't a rebuilding team yet. They haven't played well this season. But another team that I want to highlight really quick is the Colts, because the Colts lost to the Titans this week. And so let me pull that game up.
34-31.
Yeah. Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz is making a case of where he can say he's playing well enough, but I don't think the Colts are going to do anything. I don't think the Colts are going to do anything this season. If you look at Carson Wentz's stats, he's only 28 years old. But if you look at his stats, he hasn't thrown. This is the first game. He threw 2 picks this past week, but this is the first time in 3 weeks or 2 weeks that he's thrown a pick. He's played decent. Like, he hasn't been a bad quarterback. The last 2 weeks he played the 49ers, and they won that game. Yeah, it was in the rain. Yeah, it was kind of a boring game to watch. Didn't really play necessarily bad. The game before that plays the Texans. It's the Texans, so he's going to look good there.
Are you saying they're not a good team, Gavin?
But the game before, well, yeah, kind of. But the game before that, they play the Ravens. Okay, everyone's touted Lamar Jackson Ravens, right? He puts up 402 yards, 2 touchdowns, has a passer rating of 128.5 against I would say a top 10 team.
Yeah. I didn't even know
You know
that.
what I mean? So, yeah, Carson Wentz isn't, I wouldn't say he's a top 10 quarterback, top 15 quarterback right now, but he hasn't played bad. He hasn't played bad to where you can say he hasn't looked like the Carson Wentz of 2020, 2019, or even fucking 2018.
Let's get him back.
Okay? No. No, because he's going to come back and then boom. Oh, hurt. Oh, breaks both my fucking ankles in one place. Sorry. But right now his stat line is he's completed 62.2% of his passes. He's thrown for just a hair under 2,000 yards with 14 touchdowns and 3 picks on the season. And his passer rating so far this season is 96.3. So right now he has the highest passer rating in his career, or not his career, but in the last 3 years. And I would say that he, the worst season he had would have to be last season. Yeah, by far. Either his first season in the NFL where he's a rookie or last season, just because he threw almost the same amount of touchdowns and picks. And he threw for 1,000, almost 2,000, 1,000 less yards last year. But Carson Wentz is somebody that I think could bounce back. I think he could be decent. I don't think the Colts are going to be good this season in particular, but they have the pieces. So if Carson Wentz continues to play, well, and even not make so many mistakes, with not even throwing picks, but just missing wide open passes. Okay. It is what it is. But
Yeah, I think that's pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the MLB?
Not particularly.
Are you not happy with the Braves taking it home?
Well, considering they're the division rival of the Philadelphia Phillies, no, I'm not happy that the Braves. But like I said before, I don't give a damn who won that because it's two teams I despise. So congratulations to the Braves. Congratulations to the Braves.
That was loud.
Yeah. Well, sorry. It is what it is. But the Braves, they pitched well. The Astros didn't pitch well in the last game. They lost 7-0 to nothing. The Braves came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, everyone on the team could fucking hit, and everyone on the Astros couldn't hit. And honestly, that's all I want to talk about for the goddamn World Series because it pisses me off. I'm done. That's it. I can't do it anymore.
Well,
but last thing I want to say was, so because of all the hoopla with the Panthers, the Jets even earlier in the season, it really makes things tough if you're betting, if you're a sports bettor, because there's really not much, because you can look at all the different numbers you want, but at the end of the day, there's no statistic that would say, oh, the Jets are going to beat the Bengals this week, right? Yeah. So this tomorrow, the Jets get to play the Colts. Okay, now if you're asking me my personal opinion on what's going to happen, I think the Colts are going to win. I think Carson Wentz is going to play well. Now, be the Jets coming off of a win against the Bengals, I don't know how they're going to come out. I don't know if they're going to come out like they did against the Bengals, and I don't know if they're going to come out like the fucking Jets of the other 7 or 6 games. But I think that Mike White is going to play. He probably should play well because the Colts defense isn't great. It's not bad. It's just not all-time great. And so, I think if you're betting on the game, you should be leaning towards the Colts. But maybe let's not put so much money on that game, just because you don't want to have another repeat of last week, or even against the Jets against the Titans.
Imagine doing something like that.
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Crazy.
That'd be bad.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah, there's one of my friends. Taven.
Taven. Oh, I know Taven.
My man, Taven.
Yeah, does he wear like black pants? Yeah. Like a white long sleeve shirt with like Springboard on it?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh,
sometimes.
Taven,
yeah. He has glasses.
Got you.
Taven. Me and him were talking about some of the sports betting stuff going on and what's going to happen. And Taven wants the Jets to win. He's a huge Jets fan. Loves the Jets. Huge Jets guy. He's a Mike White supporter.
Well, it doesn't make any sense because he lives around Philly and he's gonna move to Texas.
No, I'm just yanking your chain here. No, but I do think that if you're looking at what to put on the game, I think you're going to be gearing towards individual spotlights. I don't think you can really say, oh, one team is going to beat the other, because you can have Carson Wentz come out and throw another goal line interception to lose the game like he did last week, or he could have he could come out like the Carson Wentz against the Ravens, and Mike White, first game I guess in the NFL, looking like a fucking phenom, you know. Looking like he's going to be the greatest of all time. So we're going to have to see what's going to happen there.
Like I said, man.
He's going to be the greatest of all time.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much kind of covering everything, unless you want to add anything to...
No, it's pretty much all I had on the docket I wanted to cover today.
Sweet.
You know, covered all our bases and then some.
Dude, I'm excited, man. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Plus, you know, I think not this week, but next week we'll have our Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
I'll be able to watch some of the games.
It's probably going to be the Cowboys playing on Thanksgiving. They always play on Thanksgiving. It's going to be like the Cowboys, like the Lions or something.
Yeah.
But
if that's it, guys, just make sure, you know, you're following us on all the socials. We're going to preach it till our mouths bleed. But, we're on everything. I hope you guys are enjoying it so far. You know, this will be our 12th episode. So,
yep, and if you weren't able to look, or you know, if you're not able to listen to all the episodes, you can definitely catch some quick snippets on our Instagram page. And like we said at the top of the start of the the episode today, we also just made a TikTok account. So if you're a TikTok superstar, you're a TikTok supporter, you know, you're on it all day, can't get off it. We're gonna be uploading on there as well.
Yep,
so you're gonna have some cool content to check out there.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But yeah, next week, guys, we're also gonna have videos. So like our snippets will be like, look out for like our pictures from what you see on the podcast, and it's gonna cut into us talking.
Yep.
We should be up, and then for YouTube, you know, we'll have more enticing videos and stuff like that. But Gavin, if that's it,
It looks like it's it.
You want to say goodbye?
Peace.